Hello and good evening to all of you. It is Monday morning. I'm here in a vineyard of Fiano, which we're picking this morning. We start this morning at 6:30. It's now close to 10. We're picking in the cooler time of the day. Yet we missed another storm last night that just hit to the north and south of us. We only received just a sprinkle. There's still perhaps a few drops here you see on the leaves. Just very few. And so great day, very happy to be able to bring in a beautiful Fiano. And I'm going to show you a little bit of harvest going on, a little bit of the clipping of these gorgeous clusters. And then we're going to go, instead of in the vineyard again, or another vineyard, today I'm going to bring you to our vegetable garden. We're going to keep a couple, we're going to harvest a couple of beautiful tomatoes, and we're going to go at my house, we're going to cook them and toast to a great harvest of produce on the farm. Among them, of course, the tomatoes we have, and the honey. We have great honey, and then of course thousands and thousands of pounds of grapes. So for now, just enjoy a little bit of the harvest life that we do today, and then I'll see you in my house. First we go to the garden. All right, well, let's go find some tomatoes. All right. You can find some beautiful ox heart somewhere in here. Try to find one a bit bigger. The biggest one produced a bit earlier in the season, but there are still some quite sizable. Some can go up to 1.5 pounds. a very meaty tomato. You can see the shape of a heart, especially when you cut it. They're delicious. I spoke about it last week when I brought some in the vineyard for some of you that saw the video last week. And so the other day I just simply prepared them with some burrata, some basil, like a caprese, but today we're going to do something different. We're going to pan fry them. So we're going to have ripe pan fried tomatoes versus green one, and you'll see how it's done. It's delicious. All right, so we're going to do a very simple preparation for tomatoes that I haven't tried it before, and what inspired me was this beautiful ox heart, which is last week I explained that it was my father's favorite tomato, and we're going to slice them about say almost 3/4 inch, maybe a little less of thickness. Like so. That's where the shape of the heart comes from. You can see right there, right? So what is particular about this tomato is that it has a lower amount of seeds within, and also it's very meaty. When you cut it, it throws very little amount of water versus other tomatoes that are very watery. This one is not. So because of that, I thought, why not do a variation to the classic fried green tomatoes. The reason why probably you cannot do with a ripe tomato, most of them, is because they have so much water, and if you were to try to pan fry them or even fry them to the full, you would probably have explosions of liquid into the hot oil, and probably they will get mushy and they drop and they won't sustain the shape. So I tried it and it works really good. So there are very few steps, and you're not learning much after probably what I just said here. Really, you just when I get your egg, you beat some eggs, and then we're gonna just put the tomatoes into some flour, and then we're gonna, from the flour, then we're gonna dip them in the egg. Then from the egg we go in the panko, both sides, and then we go straight into the pan. Well, I forgot the flour. Here it is. And so here we go. Egg is ready. Just forget the tomatoes. Put them on both sides. Another thing I've done also, it seems to do a little bit of a difference, but maybe not as much. We'll see today how it goes, is that last week I also put a bit of salt on both sides. After I cut the tomato and let them sit for an hour, some water is pulled out, so it's even more dry, the consistency. But I'm sure it will be able to do it without having to do the salt treatment. And from here, I don't care to put flour on the side. We're not going to have any panko attaching to that side. We just do that. We do the top. I like to do it this way. Put panko on top. And I just put some pressure with the palm of my hand. It gives a nice solid layer attached to it. And that's it. One pass, very simple, and now we go to fry it. So we're gonna pan fry it. We don't need to put a a large amount of oil. I put some very nice extra virgin olive oil. It will get hot fairly soon. And then we're going to cook on both sides, making sure we don't get it too dark, but we want to give a very nice crust that also enhances a bit of the flavor. Of course, the tomato itself, anything slightly fried or pan fried, it tends to be a bit enhanced. We're going to put a decent amount of salt. This tomato is quite sweet, but they have a good tanginess. And then we're going to prepare a couple of different things to garnish the plate. And there is no specific things you want to do. Whatever you like. You can do something based with mayonnaise, like an aioli. I prefer myself to do something a bit lighter. Mayonnaise is quite rich. The tomato already is rich, and also the pan frying is a bit more robust. So for my taste, I'm gonna do some fast pickling of some red onion, and then chop some basil, maybe also include in there a little bit of shishito peppers, just again slightly pickled. But the other day I did try to make some mayonnaise, and then with the mayonnaise I also mix a little bit of chopped tomatoes in there to make it a bit lighter, and then put some basil in there. That worked too. So the pan is already singing, and so we're going to gently go in. We're going to start giving a bit of salt. We're going to salt also the other side when it comes out. You have to be quite gentle turning them because the crust is connected to the tomato itself, but when you turn, you have to be gentle. Also, when you flip it, you have to be quite gentle. And now we're going to turn it. You don't want to get it too dark. If it gets very dark, it gets a little bit of bitterness from the starches that are burning. So we're going to just do the other side. Then we're going to just put it here to absorb a little bit of oil. We put it on the side on a plate, and then we're going to work on our sauce. I could have done the sauce earlier, actually. It would have been better, but it's okay. But if you're at home, maybe get your sauce ready so when you pull it out, there's a bit of warmth to the dish. It would taste a little better than cold. It took probably a minute and a half or two at the most. You can see some of the panko on the side is starting to get dark, quite dark. Soon we're going to turn fairly dark. So on the flip, you may want to be careful not to overcook it, because the panko that was already before there is going to start getting dark or even start getting black, and that's really going to be where the bitterness comes from. I think we're good. We're going to pull it out. We're going to go right there, and then we're going to just do a couple of simple things. Here we have some basil. We can just simply take the tops. I don't go through the pain of pulling one after the other. The leaves I like just to wrap them like so, and then just use a very good sharp knife with a thin blade. It's the best way to do a nice fine cutting of that. We can put this on the mayonnaise. Because of the frying, I like mayonnaise that are a bit more acidic. Most of them are. but I like to kick it up just a little bit. Put a little bit of lemon juice in there to even make it more intense. If you like any heat, you can add some heat to that. This is a hot sauce I made the other day with my tomato from my garden. I myself like it. There you go. Put that in there. We mix it. Go right on top. And little garnish, and off you go. This is done. Pretty. You could use this also as a sandwich if you want. I like myself just to eat it like that. Have the nice meatiness of the tomato, and the little crunchiness of the searing of the panko. Very simple. So that's it. The other preparation that I also have done that I really like is also another one that is very, very simple. Just take a nice sweet onion, and here I just like to, just do a, let's get this one. And then slice a couple of shishito. These are also from my garden, a very ripe shishito, by the way. When they're very ripe, they turn bright red. They get a bit softer, but the aroma is a lot more intense. And so we just put this in a bowl, and then we just add a little bit of balsamico. This is a balsamico that is a bit more concentrated, more syrupy. Is not the classic tradizionale, which is very expensive, that have to be decades old. This is a variation made by adding a bit more of concentrated, cooked down grape juice, to the point that in the cooking it does caramelize a little bit. So it's a very good product to go. And so we're going to put this in the microwave for 1 minute, fast pickling, and then we go over. While that is cooking, I'm going to just start going here with a bit of Fiano that today we picked. So this dish is also in celebration of another great vintage of Fiano, a grape grown originally in the region of Campania, which is also the region, one of the most important regions for the cultivation of tomatoes. I'm not familiar if they do grow the Cuore di Bue in Campania, but chances are that they do. Is one of the most prized tomato of Italy to be eaten raw. Other tomatoes, for example, the piennolo, which I have some in the garden. Let me get one up here. This is the piennolo. This also is from Campania. And this instead is the best tomato of Italy, according to chefs that are specialized in pizza, is the best to making sauce for pizza. So our pickling is it's finished. As you see, here it is. Very simple. So that's another option that you can have to go on your tomato. Maybe here I put it on the side. So the way what I'll do, I'll taste it some with the mayonnaise, and some I just will try it with that. So that was it. I know some of you in the past few weeks that I've seen visiting the vineyard asked me, when are you going to cook something again? So here I am, even in the middle of harvest. There's a lot going on, but we are fortunate and blessed to have an amazing harvest. No rain in the forecast for the whole week. We have an amazing schedule of picking. Likely by the end of this week or next week, we're going to be finished picking our white varieties. And then right around the corner, we are going to have probably Merlot starting. And so I'll see you next week. Meanwhile, my dogs are barking outside. They always do that when a jet comes over and the high-pitched sound of the engine triggers them. So with that, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next week.